First of all, those three things that I mentioned, shirk and murder, blasphemy with Allah and murder and adultery are major, major sins. So what does Allah say? يُضَاعَفْ لَهُ الْعَذَابِ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ وَيَخْلُدْ فِيهِ مُهَانًا. Punishment will be doubled for such a person, and they'll remain in it, humiliated. These crimes are not small to Allah, especially the three of them combined. But, by the way, the worst of all crimes, shirk, is in this ayah. The second worst of all crimes, when you kill one person, it is as though you've killed what? All of humanity. That's the second greatest crime. And then the third greatest crime is what? Zina. All three together in one ayah. Therefore Allah says this person is going to get some special kind of punishment. And they will be in that punishment humiliated, remaining therein. But even the worst of the worst of the worst. This guy is not the worst because he's done one thing. He's the worst because he's done how many? Three things. Three things. This is the hat trick of hellfire. And what does Allah say about him? He says, إِلَّا مَنْ تَابَ وَآمَنَ وَعَمِلَ عَمَلًا صَالِحًا. Except somebody who repented and came to faith, and from then on acted in a good way. I'll make an exception. This is important to understand. Allah described the worst of the worst of the worst. And then said, even of that person, if they come back to me, I will not throw them in punishment. But that's not enough. We're talking about Ibad ar-Rahman, being unimaginably merciful. So He won't just spare them from hell. What does He do? فَأُولَٰئِكَ يُبَدِّلُ اللَّهُ سَيِّئَاتِهِمْ حَسَنَاتٍ. Then those people, Allah will replace their grand sins. And I remind you what their sins were. Shirk, inna shirka la zulmun azim. Murder, أَنَّمَا قَتَلَ النَّاسَ جَمِيعًا, as though he killed all of humanity. And zina, adultery. Major, major sins. Allah says, I will replace their entire mountain of evil with good deeds in their favor. They haven't done any good deeds yet. They haven't done any good deeds yet. They haven't prayed yet. They haven't worshipped yet. They haven't done hajj yet. They haven't given charity yet. All they've done is repented. And from now on, they're going to do right. That is enough for Allah to take the mountains of sin that were going to get them into hell forever, humiliated, and convert those mountains of sin into mountains of good deeds. This is Allah for people of Tawba. And you get to be special just through Tawba. So as you're sitting there listening to this and thinking, well, I've made some pretty big mistakes. There may be somebody sitting in the audience that even committed murder and went to jail and then came out. How is Allah going to forgive me? Some of you have made the mistake of zina. May Allah protect you. Some of you are heading down that path. Some of you have committed shirk. There's all kinds of crimes happening. Some people went into sihr, which is a kind of shirk. And if you can make tawbah and come back to Allah, all of that is gone. But you've got to keep straight after that. وَعَمِلَ عَمَلًا صَالِحًا فَأُولَٰئِكَ يُبَدِّلُ اللَّهُ سَيِّئَاتِهِمْ حَسَنَاتٍ. In other words, when you come back to Allah, it's got to be for real. It can't be artificial. وَكَانَ اللَّهُ غَفُورًا رَحِيمًا. And Allah has always been forgiving, extremely forgiving, always loving, caring, and merciful.